Continua, a luta continua, Victoria acerta, a luta continua, a luta continua, a luta continua, Victoria acerta. Luta continua. We'll take.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, fellow students, general public, good morning and thank you for honoring our invitation. We have called this press conference today to address growing concerns regarding arbitrary and unfair exercise of discretionary power by the West African Examination Council, Waec, in the handling of examination results, particularly concerning results cancellation, withheld results, and lack of process for affected students. We firmly premise our concerns on Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution, which mandates that every discretionary power conferred on an institution must be exercised fairly, reasonably, and without arbitrarily or bias. However, Waec has over the years acted in a manner that disregards these constitutional principles, leading to severe injustice for thousands of students. Specific concerns raised. On the 2nd of January 2025, Nugs formally submitted a letter to Waec highlighting the following concerns. And we'll get you soft copy, but this was the letter we submitted to Waec on the 2nd of January 2025. And these were our concerns. We expressed lack of fairness, of fair hearing, and due process. And to this point, Waec cancels results or withhold results without giving students a chance to defend themselves. Accused students are denied the right to cross-examine their accusers or present evidence in their defense. The investigative process lacks independent oversight and making of a one-sided system that does not serve the interests of justice. The other issue was the delays in processing withheld results. Nugs investigations into past Waec results releases shows a disturbing trend. Waec routinely withhold results under the guise of suspected collusion, only to release them after admission window for public universities has closed. These serious concerns, and these raise very serious concerns. Why release incomplete results? Why create an unfair disadvantage? Why create this unfair disadvantage for innocent students? If Waec is still investigating, then no results should be released until the process is fully completed. It is unacceptable that innocent students miss admissions because of Waec's inefficiencies. And this point I would like to elaborate on is, results were released at the end of last year in December. And with the release of these results, Waec themselves released a report. And if you look at the report that Waec released, they were saying that they had withheld subject results of over 781 and the entire results of 209 candidates for various offenses that they suspected. Now, Why would you release some of the results and then withhold some under the guise of investigation? You should wait until you finish everything, because if you have not finished your work, don't release some. As we speak, Waec has subsequently released some of the results, claiming that they have now finished some of the investigation and the rest. And I will come to that. So some students whose results are now being released have missed the admission window just because Waec did not do its work well. Then the third issue we raised was unfair cancellation of entire results, which is one of the most serious and grave issues. Waec continues to cancel entire results of candidates accused of malpractice in just one subject. We believe that sanctions should apply to the subject where the malpractice is detected and not the entire examination. This blanket punishment approach is harsh, unfair, and possibly unconstitutional. And we have raised this to Waec as well, so that you are writing 8 subjects, and let's say your last paper is French or Twi. If you commit an infraction there by carrying in a mobile phone and you are caught, what Waec would do is to cancel all the 8 papers you have written. And we have told Waec that that is unfair, because you did not commit an offense in any of those subjects, and you registered for those subjects individually. You can decide to register for 2 subjects, 3 subjects, and 4 subjects. So if all those subjects are individually registered for, and you commit an offense in one subject, Waec cannot proceed to cancel all the subjects that you have written. It is like someone coming into our premises and goes to steal in one of the offices, and because we find out that something is missing in the other offices, we say that you are the one who stole in all the offices, and we are punishing you for everything. And that is what Waec is doing. And we have raised this with them. Indeed, the fourth issue is the lack of a well-published appeal system. Waec does not provide a structured appeal process where students can formally challenge decisions made against them. If a student is found guilty, they should have the opportunity to appeal before final decisions are enforced to avoid unjust academic setbacks. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, when we wrote to Waec on the 2nd, they invited us for a meeting on the 10th, which we met in their offices. And after meeting, they followed up subsequently with this letter, which we will also make available to you. And in the letter, they stood their grounds on whatever they have done and were not willing to amend or accept the petition that Nugs has sent to them. And it is that which has necessitated this press conference. We want to state unequivocally that Nugs is not interested in causing disaffection for Waec. We believe that Waec have served a lot of purpose for all these years, and Waec, all of us went through Waec examinations to get to where we have gotten to, and we are excited about the work that they have done. But when things go wrong, we should say it. And it is for that reason that we started this process since the 2nd of January, and it has been 1 month until now before we are taking our next course of action. And so these are the actions that we believe that if we don't take, the students of Ghana will be taken for granted. The effects of what Waec is doing currently is enormous. Our phones are ringing off the hook. My committee for legal and student affairs published for students to reach out and make complaints, and their phones have been ringing off the hook from morning to evening to midnight. The complaints keep coming, and it is overwhelming nationwide, and the effects are enormous. Students are going through depression and anxiety. The emotional trauma of having results withheld, cancelled, without due process have led to severe mental health challenges, with some students sinking into depression and hopelessness. Parents call me and tell me their children have refused to eat, all because their results have been withheld, their colleagues have received admission, and they are sitting at home. Loss of confidence and trust in the educational system. When students see Waec exercise unchecked discretion without accountability, they begin to lose trust in the fairness of the system. Apprehension and fear among students. The unprecedented nature of Waec's decision creates fear and panic, where students feel that their future is in the hands of any institution that operates without transparency. And then finally, exploitation by unscrupulous individuals. Due to Waec's discretionary actions, some students and parents are often approached by fraudsters who demand bribes, claiming they can help release their results. This fosters corruption and deepens inequality in the system. Actions that we have taken so far, I've mentioned some of them. Nugs wrote first on the 2nd of January. We followed up with an engagement with Waec, and we met their top senior officers, including the head of their legal, head of corporate affairs, head of malpractice, at Waec head of Ghana office. And that engagement took place on the 10th of January, Friday. And we did deliberations over there. We followed up by forwarding the whole issue to our legal team. And our legal team has reviewed and advised us to prepare ourselves to proceed to court. And we are preparing to take legal action on behalf of these students. And it is for that reason we opened a formal petition process for the affected students to come out, because it is these very affected students who has the locus to sue. And so we are going to provide legal representation for the affected students to take the West African Examination Council to court. Now, these are our demands. Nugs is demanding the following: that all withheld results must be released within 1 week to allow students to meet university admission deadlines. The reversal of cancellation of entire results. Cancellation should be limited to only particular subject results that the malpractice took place. A fair hearing for all accused candidates before any disciplinary action is taken. An end to the unfair practice of cancelling entire results for infractions related to single subject results. An establishment of a transparent and accessible appeal process for students who wish to challenge Waec's decisions. A commitment to releasing completed results instead of withholding some under questionable circumstances which disadvantage students. Our next course of action. If Waec fails to meet our demands within the given time frames, Nugs will mobilize all Ghanaian students for a nationwide protest to press home our demands. And if I say all Ghanaian students, we are not talking about only the affected students. The National Union of Ghana Students is the mother union of all Ghanaian students from preschool to PhD. And we are going to mobilize all Ghanaian students, including tertiary students, second cycle students, primary students, to press home our demands, because these vulnerable students may not be able to speak for themselves, but we who represent them can mobilize the students of Ghana to occupy the offices of Waec nationwide. And we are going to make sure that we are going to press home our demands until the right thing is done. Additionally, we will call for the removal of the head of Ghana office, Waec, if reforms are not initiated to address these deep-seated injustices. Waec must understand that it is accountable to the people of Ghana, and the continued abuse of its discretionary powers will no longer be tolerated. In conclusion, education is a fundamental right, and Waec must uphold justice, transparency, and accountability. The credibility of Waec is at stake if students and the general public lose confidence in its fairness. We demand immediate reforms and to address these injustices. If Waec fails to act, Nugs will escalate the matter through legal and advocacy channels, including seeking judicial intervention. We urge all students to remain calm but resolute in demanding our rights. Nugs stands with every student affected by Waec's actions, and we will not rest until justice is served.